Hello and welcome to Tracy Momey Reads. I am back this week with another book review. Before I get started, I just want to say, I signed up for Kindle Unlimited maybe at the beginning of the year, and I think it was a trial initially, and I'd done a trial before and ended up canceling the service because I thought, I have so many like tangible books, and I probably won't get my money's worth, or I may not be reading a lot of ebooks. And it seems like maybe about the last 7 books I've read have not only been on my Kindle, they have been through Kindle Unlimited. So I don't even know if it's $4.99 or $7.99 a month, whatever it is. I feel like if you read 2 books a month from Kindle Unlimited, it's worth the price that you're paying, given that most books are that price alone. So if you're reading 2 books, then it's like you're getting a 2 for 1. So anyway, I just want to say, that because I have another book that I got from Kindle Unlimited, and that was on my Kindle here, and it's called Write My Name Across the Sky by Barbra O'Neal. Write My Name Across the Sky. I read Barbra O'Neal's book When We Were Mermaids earlier this year, and it still remains one of the better books and one of my favorite reads from 2021. And I just really fell in love with her writing style and the characters and the pacing and everything. I just thought it was such a beautiful story. So when I saw the description for this one, I was like, okay, that sounds like an interesting premise. Let me see, And she did not disappoint. I mean, I'm going to have to now go read the rest of her books because this book was really, really good. Write My Name Across the Sky. Let me get my notes. Yeah, so the book, and I will admit too, because I have not hidden my dislike of audiobooks, but I will say when I downloaded this one, I don't know if like both the audio and the actual, like textbook, the text for the book, they both like downloaded together, because usually like you have an option, do you want to listen or do you want to read? And I always say that I want to read, but however I downloaded this one, both of the options came, and when I first clicked on it, the book, like the audio version came up, and I was like, what is going on here? But in my, attempt to try to fix it or find out what was going on, the audiobook kept playing. And I will say that I did listen to a portion of the audiobook, and it was actually really good because they have different voice actors doing the different characters. That's what made the difference. And it's like the main 3 characters, which let's get into that. Let me unlock my computer here. So the book is about, there's 3 main characters, 3 women in the book. You have Gloria, who I think she's in her 70s, maybe like 74 or something. And then her 2 nieces, Samantha, aka Sam, and her sister Willow. And Willow's the younger sister. There's so many just pieces of this story, and I feel like the way that the author gave us a background for each character to let us kind of know why their behavior or why they were the way that they are present day, I thought was really beneficial, and it was seamless the way that she connected the past and present, dots together. So the 3 of them are joined. I mean, obviously they're related. They're sisters, and this is their aunt, their mom's sister. But the mother, the Willow and Sam's mom, she was a famous singer, right? And she ended up passing away. And this is prior to the book even starting, so she's not in the book. But their aunt Gloria came to take care of them after their mom died. So that's kind of their relationship, right? But each one of these characters, especially Gloria, she's a fully fleshed out character. She's not just some caregiver that swooped in to take on her sister's kids. I mean, she had a whole life before she came to, to take care of these kids. And she used to be a flight attendant. And Gloria did, a couple of shady things that now it's coming back to haunt her as the book opens, and a former lover of hers is being arrested for a crime that Gloria may have helped him commit. So think about, you do something like in your 30s or whatever, and now you're in your 70s. You think you've gotten away with that? That's never going to come back up. And it's like, now, oh my God, I'm an old woman and this thing is coming back up. What do I do? So that's Gloria's story, kind of at the forefront, and her planning on it. Is she going to run? Is she going to face up to it? And then, so she calls Willow, who is the youngest niece, the youngest, of the two sisters, who she's kind of following in her mom's footsteps. But whereas her mom, she was addicted to drugs and all this stuff, just a tragic, just cliched rock star, lifestyle. Willow is kind of, she's like a little fairy pixie. She does folk music, and all that stuff. So she sings and plays a violin and, piano, but she's not like her mom was. She's actually kind of flailing and, trying to get her music career off the ground, even though she's like in her early 30s. She comes from California to New York, where the story is set, because Gloria has called her, and Gloria is telling her, I'm going to go house sit for a friend, and I want you to stay here at the apartment. But, like I said, Gloria might be about to be on the run. So Willow comes in, and she's kind of flighty, and, hasn't really, at first glance, when you are reading about her, you're thinking that maybe she's this irresponsible, like, airhead, like, person who, music is life, and she really doesn't know about being responsible or taking care of herself or anything. But as the book goes on, you see that no, Willow's had to grow up fast, and she has always been taking care of herself pretty much, and her sister to some degree, because again, their mom was on drugs, and a lot of times she left them unsupervised while she was passed out or while she was out somewhere. And then in Willow's story also, she's trying to continue to get this music off the ground, and she meets a guy, and they're making music together. So her story is there. Okay, am I going to make it? She's there for her aunt, but she still has her own thing that she's trying to do too. And she's kind of feeling like, okay, something's going on with Gloria. I know her well enough to know there's something happening here. And she eventually figures out what it is, and now they both have to deal with Sam, who's the oldest daughter. And Sam is the more complicated, I think, of the three characters, because, and this might be a spoiler, you know how I am, so I'll put spoiler alert here. But Sam, so their mother, the rock star, her name was Billy, she was married to Sam's dad, and they were like, three musketeers, perfect little family life or whatever. Well, their mom goes on the road on tour, and she cheats on her husband, and that's how Willow came to be. So Willow, the younger sister, she's Sam's sister, but they don't have the same dad. And because of Willow, Sam's dad ended up leaving her mom, and putting Sam's life into a whole tailspin, because her idyllic fairy tale childhood was totally ambushed and destroyed to some degree because of Willow's birth. So she has had this resentment towards Willow, who had nothing to really do with being born. But nevertheless, she's always resented her. She's always been jealous of her. And Sam is extremely smart and high achiever. She has like this technology company, I think it's video game that she has, but it's not doing well. She's having some financial challenges because she can't finish a particular game that she's been working on, and so she's losing money. So in addition to already kind of holding this grudge against Willow for all of their lives, because Sam is in her late 30s now, she also is dealing with the potential collapse of her business, so it's making her really, really bitchy. And then there's this guy who is a part of Sam's life. They've been, childhood friends forever. That there's kind of something going on there. So they all three have. Oh, and she's also very clueless about what's going on with Gloria. Sam is, because she's so self-absorbed. And she ends up having a health scare in the book. I mean, it's just so much going on in this book. But like I said, the way that the author ties it all together, it is just seamless. It's just like a day in the life of this family, which, a lot of times in everybody's lives, while it seems like, you're focused on this one thing, in the background, there's always a million other things going on. So just reading their dynamic, reading their individual stories, especially Gloria's, when she would go back and revisit the past of how she was as a younger woman, as someone who's getting older. I'm not quite 70 yet, but you start thinking about your past and having these fond memories. And the thing that I thought was so cool is that present day Gloria, who's in her 70s, is and she's an Instagram influencer, and she influences like older women to live out loud and continue to be curious and to enjoy their lives. And she posts pictures with positive quotes and affirmations. So I thought that was kind of cute, because I love Instagram. But yeah, the story is just so beautifully written. It's such a rich story about these obviously different generations of women who are tied together by family, by the blood, by being family, but they also have this mutual love and respect for each other outside of that. Even with the clashes between Willow and Sam, they ultimately come to an understanding, because they're sisters at the end of the day, and they really do love and care about each other. And so I love the way that it ended. I love how she tied everything up, and yeah, it was just really good. Y'all know it's killing me not to tell y'all what happened in this story, but because I want y'all to read it. It is so good. I read it like in a couple of days. It may have took me about 3 days because I had some other stuff going on, but you may be able to get through it faster than that. And if you're an audiobook lover, highly recommend the audiobook, because like I said, all three women are voiced by three different voice actors, and like their inflections and their tones were just perfect for the text and the dialogue that was taking place. The name of the book, the title actually alludes to a song that made their mom, Billy, famous, and it was a song that she had, "Write My Name Across the Sky." So that's kind of where the author came up with the idea for the title of the book. But yeah, I'm trying to see if I have any more notes. Yeah, so it was a realistic fiction. There was tons of angst, but ultimately there was a happily ever after. I mean, and for me, happily ever after, it just means that things were resolved in a way where I felt like, that all the characters got what they deserved. So I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I think you should really check this out if you're into books like this. I think you'll really enjoy it. Like I said, it was dramatic, angsty. There was a romance in there, and which is really hard to do as a writer. Sometimes you have more of one element than you do of another, or it's kind of off kilter. But again, she did a beautiful job at putting it all together. And again, that's "Write My Name Across the Sky" by Barbara O'Neal. Check it out. If you have read "Write My Name Across the Sky," I would love to know your thoughts about it. Just leave me a note in the comments, and make sure that you like this video, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can, stay caught up on all these wonderful books that I'm reading. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.